So this week, trade policy developments and corporate earnings once again dominate the market actions. So as this week starts, we got a lot of trade policy coming out. Let me actually share the screen of everything that's going on. Dun 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 dun. So we got a lot of freaking tariff that just came out that is gonna be effective August 1st. So effective August 1st, we're gonna see 50% tariff on Brazil, 40% on Myanmar, 40% on Laos, 36% on Cambodia, 36% on Thailand, Bangladesh, Siberia, Canada, and Mexico also got and European Union, they both got tariff over the weekend as well, which is what kind of dropped the market a little bit. China is also in the 30% category, and a bunch of other notable countries as well. Like even South Korea and Japan are getting hit with 25%. Vietnam and Philippines is getting hit with the lowest at 20%, and Russia 0%. They're doing the best right now in terms of percentage wise. So with that going on, it could be really, really interesting. Market was a little bit oversold this week, and I think until all the tariff settles, I think we're still gonna have a lot of uncertainty. The next tariff that needs to come out is semiconductor chip tariffs and pharmaceutical tariffs. Once those two tariffs come out, and if the market reacts and drops a little bit more, then I would call that like somewhat close to the bottom, because that's pretty much everything that could come out. And the only thing that would happen after that would be the August deadline. You know, if nobody makes an agreement and things escalate more, then then we could see market drop a little bit more. What else is going on this week? We have financials putting out earnings this week, so that's gonna be interesting. It's gonna show us how how those big banks are doing and what they think of things are, and how their predictions are. They usually post some interesting predictions as well. The FOMC also had a meeting last week where they talked a bit, and they were actually pretty bullish the week before that, but then last week they said we were gonna drop rates, but now that tariff is coming back again, it might like slow us from cutting rates. So that's something that also spooked the market a tiny bit. But overall, market didn't move much. The S&P 500 went down 0.3%, Dow Jones 1%, and Nasdaq 0.1%. So nothing much there. Jobless claims also remain elevated, but the labor market show resilience in the face of ongoing economic challenges. Now, jobless claim in the labor market, data-wise, is showing really good, but there is a chance that we could see 1 million revisions at the end of the year, where like suddenly these data that says that there's so much jobs opening are gonna come back and be like, oh, actually we were wrong, that didn't happen, but we're also seeing a lot of Reddit posts now where people are also getting scared again. They're like, I'm in my 30s and I have like a bunch of friends. Like one of the posts I read today, some guy says like, I'm in my 30s and I have a bunch of friends from high school and college that are all out of their jobs, out of the 300K and 150K jobs due to AI that are specifically replacing all their teams. And they're saying like there are some teams that go from 30 people to 5 people just because AI completely replaced them, and just replace like all 25 people, which is kind of wild. And it only takes 5 person just running the AI and manning the system from there. So pretty interesting to hear the effects of that. Well, corporate news, NVIDIA hit all-time highs because AI has been killing it. Amazon's Prime Day sale was slower than expected. Wasn't doing that good because it's kind of suggesting that consumers are tightening budgets. I personally bought nothing from Amazon this year, and I usually love shopping on Amazon Prime deals. I don't know about you guys. Did you guys get anything? Bia, Ray, Wilson, Sydney?
No.
Dang. Oh, Kroger also reported strong earnings, but struggle with cost pressures from tariff and announced store closures to streamline operations. So Kroger, just 3 years ago, they were growing. They were opening new stores. Now they're like, oh, we're going to close stores. So that shows kind of how things are going for the consumer side. Lennar is missed earning estimates, citing affordability challenges in the housing market. MP Materials, which is like a materials company that are in charge of mining materials like magnets or somewhat. They ran up a lot this week because the U.S. government just took a 15% stake in the company, and in exchange for that, they agreed to give the U.S. government a fixed price for like the next 10 years at $106 or something like that, for the materials. So that's a pretty interesting development, and I think with that, we could see a huge shift into all the material companies in America. So things like FCX potentially could be doing good. All these American mining companies could have more potential to do well. And then other corporate news: the chocolate company acquired WK Kellogg's, adding it to its snack and packaged good company. So interesting stuff there. As far as this week goes, there are 5 things I would look for. I would see how the tariff war threat goes, see how other people respond. We haven't really seen much response yet. And then we have CPI data and more retail sales data, and also earnings data from the big guys like Netflix, TSM, ASML, and JPM, and the bank earnings. And Goldman Sachs. I would love to see JPM and Goldman Sachs earnings because they always have something interesting to talk about. And then, as far as market forecast goes, let me see. So, as far as market forecast goes, I think with the tariff, we could potentially see market drop a little bit more. We could see it go down to 62.90. Well, we could see resistance at 62.90s and see it go down to 61.31. The dollar index was very oversold last week, so it's natural for it to bounce a bit. But I think this week, there's also a slight chance that they say that Jerome Powell might resign or leave his position due to all the political pressure. And if that happens, the dollar index will flush, and as we Americans lose credibility, and that could spook the market and cause a massive drop in the market as well. So because of all of that, I would probably just stay on the sideline and see what happens. And that's pretty much it for my part. And because of that, I picked 2 stocks that was pretty undervalued. So we'll go into the weekly undervalued stock picks, which is FPI, which is a farmland company, and SKWD, which is Skyward Specialty Insurance Group. These companies, I both expect them to drop a lot if the market drops. And if they do, I would buy FPI at 1040, and if SKWD drop, I would buy around 5150 because of these major support levels on the chart. And then that's pretty much it.
So this week, the major key market moving items would be Tuesday at 8:30 a.m. for the CPI data and New York manufacturing data, and Friday at 10 a.m. for the Michigan inflation and consumer sentiments and consumer expectation data. There is other data, PPIs at Wednesday 8:30.
I think PPI is going to be interesting too. Usually both CPI and PPI move pretty heavily.
Okay. PPI data on Wednesday. Retail sales on Thursday. And Philly manufacturing index and employment data on Thursday. There's a lot of speakers this week on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday.
Oh wow, Tuesday could be potentially one of the best trading days then.
Do you guys see?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Not much has changed. Put the call went from 1.51 to 1.53, and we're still at extreme fear or extreme green. It went from 78 to 75. Is it this week or next week that's blackout? Wait, let me look at it. Oh, never mind. It's next week because FOMC is on the 29th.
Yeah, there's a lot of Fed speakers this week, so it's not a blackout week.
Okay. That's about it. Almanac says that Monday is bullish, and
Oh yeah, send us the almanac and trading chat.
I put it in stock chat. You told me to put it in stock chat last time.
Oh yeah, good idea. You
So,
put in stock chat already?
Monday, Thursday, and Friday is bullish.
Oh,
Friday
why don't you pull it on the
is
screen? Pull it up.
you guys see it?
Yeah.
So Friday is the twitching that star. It's the monthly expiration days, July monthly expiration. So it'll probably be volatile.
Is the witch day?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, go for it. What stock did you pick for this week?
I just picked Bank of America because I was asking ChatGPT, and it said because it's trading at a lower PE, like there's more potential for it to go. It's just like more potential for it to grow if there's positive news.
What is
okay.
Price to equity.
Ooh.
Let me share my screen. So according to stock earnings, it usually moves 4%. So the bracket order I just have is like 4% take profit and 4% stop loss. The entry is currently trading near the MOB at 46.73. So I just rounded up to 46.75 for the entry. Hopefully for tomorrow by market open it fills. Then as for my other parts, as we discussed before earlier, most of the earnings this week it's gonna be a lot of banks. There's some insurance companies as well, like Progressive and Travelers. Besides banks and insurance companies, some other big names on Thursday, like TSM, Netflix, which will probably be like Netflix will probably affect the other Max 7 stocks, and maybe like how they report earnings or how well they do. So that'll be interesting to see. The market, it's still been going up since the last 2 weeks. So last week changed from 4.65% and it increased to 4.73%, increased slightly.
In terms of month to date?
Yeah, month to date. In terms of S&P rebalancing, since last week where they announced Datadog, there hasn't been any new other stocks that's gonna replace an old company in the S&P. And this week's investing.com play is JPM, which is also a bank. And their sell pick this week is to short Pepsi because they haven't been doing as well.
I think going forward, you don't have to mention that anymore.
Okay.
That's optional since you're doing your own pick from it.
Okay.
I mean, it's good to note that if you want to note it. It's good to have it on track, but not necessarily need to be talked about.
Okay. Yep. Because I haven't been using it for a couple of weeks now, other than last week when we did Amazon.
Yeah. I'll say another fun fact is usually on earnings. So far, it's been 6 out of 6 out of the last 6 earnings seasons. Whichever direction Netflix goes after earnings is the direction for the rest of the tech sector. So if Netflix goes up, then tech sector in general goes up and does well on earnings. If Netflix goes down, then the rest of the tech sector does poorly on earnings. So, but I think this would be a very interesting one for Netflix. I personally don't have a bad view of them lately because they've been just churning out so much good releases. But I think their last Squid Game was pretty ugly. The last season wasn't that great, but I don't know if that's like their most successful product anymore. So I'm curious to see how they play out. I checked out some of the other segments, was pretty meh. Their gaming segment was pretty meh. And Apple TV, I think their biggest like weakness would be if Apple TV start acquiring their market share, and Amazon as well. If Amazon and Apple start acquiring their market share, then they're in trouble. But that's pretty much it. I think are you done with your part, Ray?
Yeah, that's pretty much all my parts.
Oh, okay. And price to PE is price to earning ratio. It usually means the stock price is how much ratio it is to the earnings per share. So PE can usually change during ERs. And it could change drastically too.